Hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to dive into a topic that many of you might find yourself struggling with, whether it's worth trying to get back together with a dismissive-avoidant ex. Maybe you've been thinking about them a lot and wondering if reconciliation is the best path forward. Well, in today's video, we're going to explore why it's not always in your best interest to try to get back with a dismissive-avoidant partner. We'll break down some key reasons why it might actually be healthier, both for you and for your emotional well-being, to let go and move forward. Let's get into it. The first major reason why you should reconsider trying to get back with your dismissive-avoidant ex is the emotional roller coaster that you'll inevitably find yourself on. One of the defining traits of a dismissive-avoidant partner is their tendency to withdraw when emotions start to run high. They tend to avoid emotional intimacy, and that can feel like a constant push and pull. You may have noticed that in your past relationship, you were often the one pursuing. You may have found yourself sending multiple texts, calling, or trying to engage in conversations about your feelings, only to receive little to no response, or worse, a response that felt cold or dismissive. This kind of dynamic can take a huge toll on your mental and emotional health. You're constantly chasing after someone who is pulling away, and this repeated cycle of pursuit and rejection can feel exhausting. The emotional highs when you do get their attention are followed by deep lows when they shut you out, leading to a constant state of anxiety and emotional instability. Even if you succeed in getting back together, you're likely to repeat the same pattern. The emotional availability that you seek from your partner will remain lacking, which means you might still feel lonely, unimportant, or misunderstood, even while being in the same relationship. This cycle of emotional unavailability and frustration can take an enormous toll on your self-esteem, leaving you questioning your worth and wondering why your efforts aren't enough. Now, let's talk about your own emotional well-being. Many times, when we are deeply invested in someone, especially someone we care about, it's easy to neglect our own needs. You might feel like your whole emotional focus is on them, to the point where you forget to take care of yourself. The problem is that, in doing this, you risk losing sight of your own needs for connection, respect, and emotional safety. Your mental health starts to suffer because you're investing all of your energy into trying to break down their emotional walls that they might not be ready to dismantle. What's more, constantly chasing after a partner who is emotionally unavailable can make you feel unseen and unheard. You might start to believe that your emotional needs are not valid, or worse, that you are not deserving of love and attention. This can lead to emotional burnout and a depletion of self-worth. Instead, it's essential that you focus on your own healing. Prioritize your emotional health. This means taking a step back, not just from the relationship, but also from the need to chase after someone who cannot meet your needs. In fact, this is the best time to focus on building your emotional resilience. Start asking yourself, am I truly happy in this dynamic? Am I feeling emotionally safe, valued, and heard? If not, then it may be time to shift your focus to self-care and allow yourself the space to grow and heal independently. Another reason why trying to get back with a dismissive-avoidant might not be in your best interest is their repetitive cycle of unmet emotional needs. If you've been in a relationship with a dismissive-avoidant, you're likely familiar with the constant sense that something is missing. You may have felt that no matter how much you gave, your needs for emotional connection or security were never truly met. Dismissive avoidants often struggle with intimacy and vulnerability. While they may care about you, they can be reluctant to express those feelings or open up emotionally. This creates an emotional gap between you and them. You might wonder, does my ex love me? Do they even care? Their inability or unwillingness to engage in deep emotional intimacy means that their actions and words often lack consistency or reassurance, leaving you feeling confused and unfulfilled. This unbalanced dynamic might be something you've experienced again and again, leaving you stuck in a cycle where your emotional needs are left unaddressed. Even if you get back together, the same patterns are likely to emerge, the same withdrawal, the same emotional distance, and the same inability to truly meet each other's needs. In the long run, this only reinforces your sense of inadequacy and creates emotional confusion that ultimately harms both partners. When you're trying to get back with an ex who is emotionally distant, there's a tendency to want to control the outcome. You may think, if I just do things differently this time, they'll open up to me. If I show them how much I care, they'll realize I'm worth it. However, this approach often leads to a one-sided relationship. You end up putting in all the effort, trying to please them or to fix things, while they remain emotionally distant or unavailable. This leads to an imbalanced relationship, where your emotional needs are placed on the back burner and the relationship becomes more about your efforts than about mutual growth and respect. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect and reciprocity. Both partners need to be equally engaged and emotionally available. If you're constantly chasing after someone who isn't ready or willing to reciprocate your emotional investment, you're simply sacrificing your own happiness for someone else's emotional unavailability. This is an unsustainable dynamic that can only lead to disappointment and burnout. Finally, one of the most significant reasons why trying to get back with a dismissive-avoidant ex may not be in your best interest is the power of moving on. Letting go of someone who cannot meet your emotional needs is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. When you release the need to be with someone who is emotionally unavailable, you open up the space for personal growth. You give yourself the opportunity to heal, to focus on your emotional needs, and to gain a deeper understanding of what you truly deserve in a relationship. This period of growth allows you to reconnect with yourself, rediscover your value, and rebuild your emotional strength. In the long run, moving on doesn't mean forgetting or being bitter about the past. It means taking control of your own happiness. When you allow yourself to grow emotionally, you create the space for healthier, more balanced relationships in the future. Relationships that are built on trust, mutual respect, and emotional availability. To sum up, trying to get back with a dismissive-avoidant ex is not always in your best interest. The emotional toll, the repetitive cycles of unmet needs, and the lack of mutual respect can lead to a toxic and draining dynamic that ultimately harms both of you. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let go and prioritize your own emotional health, growth, and well-being. But I understand that this is not always an easy decision to make. If you're still wondering whether it's worth pursuing your ex, or if you're determined to give it another try, I dive deeper into this in my book, How to Get Your Dismissive-Avoidant Ex Back. In that book, I not only discuss the complexities of reconciling with a dismissive-avoidant partner, but I also address the critical question, is it even worth trying to get back together? I help you weigh the pros and cons of reconciliation, and for those who decide to move forward, I provide clear steps and strategies on how to approach the situation and increase your chances of success. If you're feeling uncertain or if you want to dive deeper into how to approach a potential reconciliation, my book is the perfect resource to guide you through that process. You can find the link to it in the description below this video. Thank you for watching, and remember to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on attachment theory and relationships. I'll see you in the next video.